Hey guys, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. So today we're gonna talk a bit about what I said, thinking about outside the box. So what I mean by thinking outside the box is that every moment I think is an important skill to be able to kind of say what are people doing in India right now, for instance. What are people doing in China or whatever country right now as I'm speaking? I find that very interesting because, yeah, you probably have heard about the saying that lots of people have it worse than you and all that. And I feel that having that skill to always think outside the box. Also, in terms of the planet, so we're here in planet Earth. Um, it, 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 there's like videos that show you, hey, we're here on this planet in the middle of a galaxy of billions and billions of stars. So your problems are not are nothing compared to the immense size of the universe and planet Earth. So I'm not saying that your problems aren't important or anything. It's just that it's kind of like a skill to have, that okay, yeah, your problems are your problems and so on, but nothing is the end of the world. That's what I believe. And I believe that in the end everything is gonna be alright. We just have to make the right decision. So that comes back to the point that every second you have to make a decision. Either you waste your time or you do something productive. So make that decision, and at the end, like in the end, everything is gonna be alright. I believe that sometimes life does get hard, and even for me, like, I'm not struggling financially or anything, and I find that life is very confusing. Like, sometimes I feel there's nothing to talk about. That's one of the topics I often want to talk about. I often want to cover, is that for me it's difficult to maintain a talking relationship, or let's say you have a partner or relationship with this girl. Sometimes there is literally nothing to talk about, and I just feel like it gets repetitive. I'm always trying to find new things and share with them, but not all the time I find anything, and it feels that life as a man, and I've already accepted this, but it's like you have like a responsibility over your shoulders. Like, even with girls, you have to lead the conversation. You have to know where you're gonna take them on a date, because girls want that. Girls want, you know, you take the lead. You kind of chase me. That's humans, and that you can see it in animals as well. But yeah, it's like we have this responsibility of relationships. We have the responsibility that nobody's going to save us, because yeah, I know this person that I might mention is not like the greatest example, but like what Andrew Tate says. Andrew Tate says that men suffer more than women and children, and yeah, even though I know that women also have it hard, especially in in the Muslim countries, and I accept all religions, but in some countries they have it harder, because they're not important or they're just treated as whatever. But in my world, I feel that it's always I feel like I have a responsibility. Nobody's gonna save me. I have no value. I have to build my value. um, and if, like, for example, if I was a girl, if I was pretty, I already have that value, people are gonna talk to me, guys are gonna hit me on my DMs, obviously looking to hit, but at least, I'm getting people talking to me, likes and so on. And as a man, sometimes we have no friends, and that's okay, that's completely okay. But yeah, it just feels like you have a responsibility all the time. There's no like a pause to this game. Uh, but yeah, I just try to make it simple, just make the right decision every single time. And in terms of relationships, it's also a right a right uh, decision, because relationships make you grow in a sense, and you're also more aligned with the history of human beings. We have to look for a partner, or we have to be kind of social and all that. But yeah, I feel it's very interesting, and to have that skill to always think up outside the box, I think is also very important. This goes in hand with a lot of philosophies such as the Stoics, which talked about memento mori, that you are going to die. That's the key to life. You're going to die. Let that determine what you think, do or say. That's one of the quotes, and it's true, because every time we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, or or in a couple weeks. So yeah, and life changes so much. So we have to remember we are going to die, and also think about outside the box. I could have been somewhere in another country, suffering a lot more. And yeah, I'm just grateful. That's the energy that that I feel. Also knowing that I cannot control the outside, I can only control my mind. That's key, because that's saying that what makes me unhappy, and Buddha also says this, what makes me unhappy is not the situation but my thoughts about the situation. Suffering is inevitable, like you cannot avoid it, but uh, no, pain is necessary, but suffering is an option. I can I can control my mind, but I can't control outside circumstances. So yeah, I feel that the mental aspect of life is important. Um, I also saw something interesting the other day, how it said our grandparents had it hard on their body, but easier on their soul. But in today's world, we have it hard on our soul and easier for our bodies. So what that means is, like, our ancestors were connected more to the body, in a sense of, like, they had to go outside and hunt. They had to gather resources, like like in Minecraft. And in today's world, we have everything, but we suffer to our soul, because we're more connected to technology. We don't appreciate the silence, meditation, good habits that our ancestors used to do before. So yeah, man. Um, these are a couple of things that really could help anybody. I feel if I have a children, I would teach them these concepts, telling him uh, that the only thing he can control in the whole universe is his mind. Um, and I feel that we can. And another thing to know is that the mind does not stop thinking. It's like an organ, but we can kind of not identify with the mind by knowing that we are the consciousness behind our thoughts, and coming into the present moment, which we will always be okay.